Dodgers go to Colorado for 4 games later this week, and they're facing 4 right-handed starters in a row. And so it is a good time, in my opinion. You know, Peterson's a streaky hitter, but it's time to streak good. I like him in Colorado a ton for 4 games, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If he's available, grab him, and grab him now. Cody Bellinger went 2 for 3 last night. He doubled off of Greinke for his 17th double. And how about Taylor? You know, when Seager goes out injured a couple weeks ago, and he's out for maybe 4 weeks or so, he had just started heating up, and if you're a Seager owner, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, what bad luck is this once again? But then if you went out and picked up Chris Taylor, he has been a godsend, right? I mean, he was hitting around 205 when he was put in the starting lineup with Seager's injury. He's up to 245 now. He has been a fantasy asset to own over the past 2 weeks. And if he is available in your league, I'm digging me some Chris Taylor. And I'll tell you another thing about Taylor. I love multi-positional players. He is certainly one of those. He can play shortstop position. He can play the outfield position. Let's see. He is shortstop, second base, outfield eligible, and multiple hits. He's 2 hits on the 20th, 2 hits on the 22nd, a hit on the 23rd, a hit on the 24th. He's got 8 homers on the year. He's a great add in fantasy if he's available in your league. The Dodgers lead the Rockies by 12 games. They lead Arizona by 14 games and San Diego by 15 games. Now, what's really interesting about the National League wild card race, because, you know, Atlanta, Cubs, Dodgers, Brewers lead the first wild card. They have a 1-game lead over Colorado. But dig this. You ready? St. Louis, a half a game out of the second wild card. Philadelphia, 1 game out of the second wild card. Arizona, 2. San Diego, 3. Washington, 3.5. Cincinnati, 4. Pittsburgh, 4. The Mets, 4.5 out of the second wild card. The Giants, 7.5 out of the second wild card. And the Miami Marlins, 10 games out of the second wild card. Now, am I predicting Miami and San Francisco? No, certainly not. What I am saying is you've got every team in the National League within 10 games of a playoff berth on June 25th. Fantasy-wise, it's going to be tough to have a trade partner when you're hoping a seasoned vet might get traded from a non-contender when everyone's a contender. That's what you got, right? So, I've said it before. I'll say it again this morning. Let's look and see where these teams are on July 4th. Just 9 days from now, 10 days from now. That's when I want to start looking at where we flush out these standings. Okay? I'm going to save this wild card piece today, and I'm going to update it in about a week. Okay? We'll see how these players, these teams, shake out in about a week. Fair enough. Let's talk about some players today. But before we do that, Christian Yelich. You know, we talk about, and I'm going to do it today, players you can add in fantasy. Well, you know, you can't add Yelich. Nobody's trading Yelich. But Yelich, he's a Triple Crown winner this year. That's my prediction. Look at his numbers. Batting in his Triple Crown, batting average, home runs, RBIs. All right. Yelich is hitting .342. He only trails Cody Bellinger, who's hitting .353. He'll catch Bellinger. Bellinger's batting average has dropped over 60 points in the past month. Bellinger's a good hitter. Bellinger will hit over 300, but he's not a batting champ. Yelich is. Look for him to win the batting title. Home runs. Yelich leads the National League with 29. Bellinger has 25. Bellinger's got to hit home runs in Dodger Stadium. Yelich's home park is Miller Park in Milwaukee. Who do you like to hit more home runs? Give me some Christian Yelich. Also, Bellinger's got to face tough left-handed pitching with San Diego. Arizona, good pitching. Yelich faces the pitching of the Pirates, the Reds. Give me some Yelich, home runs. RBIs. Josh Bell has 66. Yelich has 63. Do you really think at the end of the year, Josh Bell is going to have more RBIs playing for Pittsburgh than Yelich is playing with Milwaukee? Oh, come on. Yelich, Triple Crown winner this year. Write it down. If you don't agree with me, chat room me. Let me know. It's Alzolay Day today in Chicago. Yeah. Alzolay gets the start today for the Cubs. His first major league start. He'll start against the Braves. He has a plus fastball. He has a plus curveball. He pitched last Thursday. He was the winner of the game. He allowed 1 run on 1 hit in 4 innings. Struck out 5. Last Thursday he retired 12 of the first 13 hitters he faced over 4 scoreless frames. Okay? He came back out in the 9th inning. He gave up a solo home run. They took him out. But he pitched 4 scoreless innings, and in those frames, retired 12 of 13. In 32 innings with Iowa this year, prior to the call-up, the 24-year-old had a 3.09 ERA, a .94 whip, and he has struck out 46 batters and only walked 6. What the Cubs are talking about doing is going with a 6-man rotation. I think that more teams should do that, especially when you have young pitchers on your staff. The Braves would be well served to go to a 6-man staff and use more of these great young arms, but give them that extra day rest over the course of a season. Can you imagine a 6-man rotation? What you would wind up doing is probably skipping 2 or 3 starts, but it would give you that extra rest. It would preserve those young arms. I think this is a great move by Joe Madden. If he goes to a 6-man rotation, he works in Alzolay. He gets Hendricks back maybe next week. And now all of a sudden you've got an extra live arm in that rotation. Also, you know what's happening in Chicago, right? They've got a pitcher that they just signed, Craig Kimbrell, I think's his name, and he's going to come back late this week. Their bullpen is getting stronger. Not just their closer, but their setup guys. The Cubs are loading their guns. Yes, they are. They're loading their guns so they can shoot and shoot down the National League Central. So look for Alzolay today to have a great start. I think he will, and I think the kid's going to stick. I called Craig Mish last week and talked to him. I was much more optimistic about Alzolay than Craig Mish was. I still am. I don't know if Craig's position may have changed now, but I'm very optimistic about Alzolay. Highly rated prospect, number 1 pitcher in the Cubs organization, and he's playing on a team that can score a lot of runs. Another pitcher that's worth adding, but not going to be playing until All-Star break time, but this is a number 1 kind of guy, folks. It's Jesus Luzardo. And I've talked about Jesus Luzardo ad nauseum on this show. I got to tell you a few more things because he pitched at Las Vegas over the weekend, struck out 5 in 3 1/3 innings. He is projected to make his debut with the A's in the starting rotation immediately after the All-Star break. He hit 99 miles per hour in Saturday's start. He threw 61 pitches. Now remember, they shut him down in March. He had some shoulder fatigue. He's worked his strength back up in that shoulder, hit 99 in Saturday's start. He is now slated to pitch 5 innings and throw between 75 and 80 pitches with the Aviators against Fresno on Thursday. He could then reach the 100 pitch threshold in the following start which would be on my birthday, July 2nd. That would leave him ready for a big league debut immediately after the All-Star break. If all goes well, that means he's got 2 starts remaining at AAA. And Donkey says, rookie, rookie, rookie. I agree, typically, Donkey. There's been so much written about him in the San Francisco Chronicle that I've been reading that I can't wait to see this kid, and let's see what he's got. A lefty who throws 99 to 100 and has control, he intrigues me. I think he's worth a stash. Okay, so I agree with Donkey. A rookie is a rookie is a rookie. I've never seen this kid pitch. I only know what I read. But when I read 99 and he can hit 100 and he's going to be starting after the All-Star game in Oakland Coliseum, what a great place to pitch. When I read about the control and command this kid has had, he's worth a stash. You can do worse. So I challenge you. Have you added pitchers this year and you added them and they pitched like 1 or 2 games and you're like, gosh, I got to cut this guy? Sure we have. So why not try Luzardo? He's worth a flyer. He's worth a shot. Kid's got great credentials. He's the number 1 left-handed pitching prospect in all Major League Baseball. Speaking of prospects who are rookies, who are hot, is there anybody hotter than Lourdes Gurriel from Toronto? I mean, come on. This kid started out the year in the lineup on the infield, if you recall. Drafted, yeah, sure, why not? He had a pretty good second half last year. He was drafted this year in drafts, and he stunk. He was horrible. He had like 130 for 2 weeks. Toronto sends him down. Call him back up. They tell him, Lourdes, you're going to be our left fielder. You're going to play every day. Go do something with this opportunity. In his first 107 games as a major leaguer, this is through last night. In his first 107 games, Lourdes Gurriel is hitting .284 with 21 home runs. That's right. 107 games, 21 home runs. This year, even with the miserable start he had, he's at .289, 24 runs scored, 10 home runs, 26 RBIs. It gets even better. Write all this down. This is good stuff. Last night he went 2 for 5. He went 2 for 5 last night. And he hit a home run. Good morning, Lisa. And he went 3 for 5 against Boston on Sunday. 2 for 5 against Boston on Saturday. He's 12 for his last 25. That's a .480 clip with a couple of home runs. Lourdes Gurriel, is he available in your leagues? If he is, why is he available? Because instead of listening to me go on and on and on about him, good morning, Lenny, you should grab him if he's available. I can't imagine that he would be. But Lourdes Gurriel, what a great talent. And only one place to go, and that is up. Today, Ross Stripling starts for the Dodgers. You know, they once again lost their starting pitcher. They had to fill somebody in the rotation, so it's Ross Stripling. Rich Hill, it's not a matter of if he's going to get injured in any given season. It's a matter of when's he going to get injured. And so Hill goes out last week. The Dodgers announced Ross Stripling to be their starter going forward while Rich Hill is out. Who knows how long that could be. I do know this. As a starter this year, here, let me give you some numbers on Stripling as a starter. He's had 6 starts so far in 2019. He's got a .265 ERA, a .109 whip. He struck out 32 in 34 innings and only walked 10. Those are his 6 starts in 2019. Ross Stripling is going to succeed. Great pitching ballpark. Great offense. I mean, is there a better team in the National